നമസ്കാരം. എംബോൾസിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. ഇന്ന് നമ്മളുടെ മലനാട് ജീവിയുടെ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഞാൻ പരിചയപ്പെടുന്ന വ്യക്തി ഒരുപക്ഷെ ലോകത്ത് തന്നെ വളരെയേറെ കൗതുകമാർന്ന ഒരു ഇടപെടൽ നടത്തിയ വ്യക്തിയാണ്. നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യം ഇന്ന് സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യം കിട്ടി 70 വർഷം പിന്നിട്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോവുകയാണ്. നമ്മുടെ GDP അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ സസ്റ്റൈനബിലിറ്റി ഒക്കെ നമുക്ക് ചർച്ച ചെയ്യേണ്ട ഒരു വിഷയം തന്നെയാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ ഒരു ദരിദ്ര രാജ്യത്തെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഐലൻഡിനെ, ഒരു ദ്വീപിനെ കുറഞ്ഞ കാലങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട്, ഒരു 12 വർഷം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ദശാബ്ദ കാലം കൊണ്ട് സമ്പന്ന രാഷ്ട്രമായി വളർത്തുകയും സ്വന്തമായിട്ടുള്ള റിസർവ് ബാങ്ക് അടക്കമുള്ള എല്ലാ സവിശേഷതകളും അടങ്ങിയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു രാജ്യമായി വളർത്തിയതിൽ ഒരു മലയാളിക്ക് ഒരു പങ്കുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ സംസാരിച്ചത് ഈസ്റ്റ് ടിമോറിന്റെ കാര്യത്തിലാണ്. ഇന്ന് UN 30 വർഷത്തെ സേവനത്തിന് ശേഷം അദ്ദേഹം തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കുമ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയായിരുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ ഒരു അഭിമുഖത്തിലൂടെ ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയത്. നമസ്കാരം സാർ. എബ്രഹാം ജോസഫ്, നമസ്കാരം. ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞാല് ഈസ്റ്റ് ടിമോറിന്റെ കാര്യത്തില് നമ്മുടെ മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധിജിയുടെ പേര് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഒരു കാലത്ത് അങ്ങനെ പേര് പറയേണ്ട ഒരു രാജ്യമായിട്ട് മാറിയിരിക്കുന്നു ഈസ്റ്റ് ടിമോർ. 30 വർഷത്തിന് മുമ്പ് UN അങ്ങ് അതിനോട് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് അങ്ങയുടെ പത്നിയോട് അങ്ങ് പറയുന്നു, ഇതുപോലെ എനിക്കൊരു അവസരം കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്, പോണോ വേണ്ടയോ, കാരണം ഒരു അപരിഷ്കൃതമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ദ്വീപാണ് അല്ലെ. ശരിക്കും അവിടെ പോവർട്ടി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വളരെ ഉയർന്ന ശതമാനത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു സ്ഥലം. അവിടെ പോയിട്ട് ആ ഒരു നാടിനെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒരു ദ്വീപിനെ ഒരു രാഷ്ട്രമാക്കി കൊണ്ടുവരുവാൻ UN ഏൽപ്പിച്ച ദൗത്യത്തിന്റെ സംഘത്തലവനായിരുന്നു എബ്രഹാം ജോസഫ് എന്നാണ് സാർ. അന്ന് മേടമെടുത്ത ഒരു തീരുമാനമാണ് ഇന്ന് ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരുപക്ഷെ ഒരു ചരിത്രത്തിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി അങ്ങയുടെ പേര് കൊത്തിവെക്കാൻ കാരണം. ഈസ്റ്റ് ടിമോറിന്റെ ചരിത്രത്തിൽ ഒരു മാറ്റിവെക്കപ്പെടാത്ത ഒരു മലയാളിയായിട്ടാണ് എബ്രഹാം ജോസഫിന്റെ പേര് അവിടെ കൊത്തിവെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് ഈസ്റ്റ് ടിമോറിന്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ അങ്ങ് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിച്ചത് UN പ്രതിനിധിയായി?
East Timor was an extremely poor country.
Yeah.
And
once a time
in 2002 when they got independence,
yes,
they did not have even a single penny for the state budget.
Oh.
The country's budget, they didn't have even a single penny.
Is it a British colony?
No, Portuguese colony.
Portuguese colony.
Yeah. And of course, until 1974, that is after 450 years of Portuguese rule, when they were about to get their independence, the Indonesian army came and attacked East Timor because they knew that there's gold, there is oil and gas and many other minerals.
Right.
Of course, in Indonesia at that time, it was a military ruler called Suharto. He is the one who ordered the army to take over the country.
Okay.
And there was resistance from the civil society.
Okay.
And close to 250,000 people were massacred. Yeah, that is between 1974 and 1999.
Mm-hmm.
250,000 people were massacred. Those who resisted the Indonesian invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it came. The issue of East Timor came before the Security Council,
mm-hmm.
and the Secretary General, Kofi Annan, he sent a special envoy to dialogue with President Suharto.
Okay.
But of course, he was not ready to budge. And then, of course, he was overthrown by his own people. Okay. Because of corruption charges and all that. Then the successive two presidents also, could not continue their presidentship because of corruption charges levied against him and his family. Of course, the Secretary Special Envoy had discussions with them, and what happened was the referendum was ordered by the Security Council.
Okay.
And in the referendum, they were given a choice whether they want to join with Indonesia or to join with Australia or Portugal, or be independent. And about 80% of people voted for
freedom.
Independence. So when the Indonesian army, they know that they have to leave the country.
Oh,
So when the soldiers were leaving the country, they dynamited the schools, hospitals,
Okay.
bridges, infrastructure. So if one was to see then the country, it was almost like after the Second World War. Everything was flattened.
flattened. Yeah.
Flattened.
The poverty is everywhere.
Then our peacekeeping mission went over there to protect the civilians
Mhm.
and also the UN, our UN agencies to provide food, medications, and all that.
Okay.
In the meantime, the UN also have built up what do you call the various capacities, like human institutional capacity.
US supports.
Beg your pardon?
First time, US support.
Not only US, many other countries also
Supports,
support.
okay.
US plus other countries.
Okay.
And also India too.
Oh.
Yeah, have supported.
Mhm.
And so UN administered the country from 1999 to May 2002.
Okay.
And then we held the general election
Mhm.
and transferred the power to the
President.
to the nationals there,
Oh.
to the nationals.
Mhm.
And when they got their independence,
From Indonesia or
uh,
Dutch? Portuguese.
no, when they got their independence, well, I could say that I mean, of course, it was colonized by the Portuguese, and then later by the Indonesians,
Indonesians.
and then of course the UN took over
Okay.
after the referendum.
Okay.
So you could say that it has been taken over from the United Nations.
Okay.
Because the UN was administering the country
Oh, very
from 1999 to May 2002.
okay.
And then when the leadership came to power, the national leadership, they were faced with very difficult situations
Mhm.
because the poverty was rampant
Yeah.
and people were extremely poor
Mhm.
and they did not have any financial resources for their budget.
Okay.
That is, there's a national budget.
Okay.
And fortunately, United Nations and a few other countries chipped in a small amount of money, at least to get the government running.
Okay. At least, what is the main food?
The main food, that's a very good question. People were eating corn.
Only corn rice.
Corn, which was usually given to cattle.
Okay.
For them at that time, rice was a luxury.
Mhm.
Rice
Rice is a luxury food.
was a luxury in 2002. So the poverty started increasing, and then in 2006, the second general election was held.
Okay.
In the second election, the leadership that came into power, they decided to focus more on development.
Okay.
Because for them, because they saw people are suffering, they're not getting all their daily needs. So then, it was decided, the government plus the UN, World Bank, and Asian Development Bank, and other UN agencies all decided with the government that it should be good to give tender for oil and gas drilling. So they issued the tender, and ConocoPhillips of the United States and Woodside from Australia, they won the tender. And within 6 months, in 2007, they were able to get about $70 million from the oil and gas revenue. And in the subsequent year, that is 2007, it became 1.5 billion.
Oh.
And then the following year, it became 2.6 billion.
Mhm.
So the
Step by step,
revenue started increasing. But one of the big problem was they do not know, how to handle the financial resources because they didn't have the capacity.
Yeah.
And there was no central bank also at that time.
Yeah.
Everything was financial resources were managed by the treasury.
Okay.
So here again, the UN, Australia, and the Australian government and a few other countries helped them to have a central bank.
Oh.
And also, when you create a central bank, you need to also to train the people.
Okay.
You see,
Financial literacy.
yeah, financial literacy and how to handle, what do you call?
What is the money? Dollar.
It's a US dollar.
US dollar.
US dollar, yeah. So when Indonesia was, when Australia, when
East Timor.
Portuguese was colonizing, it was the Portuguese currency.
Oh, okay.
So when Indonesia took
Attacked
over the country, it was the Australian currency. I'm sorry, it's Indonesian currency. And then when the UN stepped in, the peacekeeping was the Australian currency.
Oh.
And then it became, after their independence, dollars. You see? So you see, within a short period of time, from 1974 to 2002,
They have practiced more money type.
yeah,
More type of monies.
yeah, different currencies. they
Currencies,
were
yeah.
using. And of course, the US dollar is still continuing, because of their oil and gas resources. That is usually traded in dollar terms. Anyway, so they moved by 2012 from crisis to recovery to development. Okay, and then in the meantime,
First time they are facing the crisis.
yeah, and then also they decided to prepare a long-term strategic development plan.
Very good.
Who
teach them?
Well, it is.
UN, you also?
Yeah, I mean, UN, not only myself, there are others also.
Okay.
What do you call? We train the ministers how to prepare their ministry's budget.
Very good.
And also there was training from, Australians also, because it's a teamwork.
Very good.
The Australian government has sent some people, likewise the European Union, they have sent some. So the training was given to bureaucrats, and then they didn't have a police force or an army. This again, Brazil, Portugal, India, and a few other countries, Singapore, Malaysia, they have been training the new police force
Okay.
and the
Army force.
The army force. Another interesting development that took place was the gender violence was increasing in East Timor, like many other countries. So what the government did was, when we had an extensive discussion, all the UN agencies and other partners, so they decided that in each of the police stations, we must have a VPU unit, Vulnerable Persons Unit.
Okay.
But it should be managed by women police.
Women police.
Yeah, because, especially in rural areas, women are afraid to go to men police.
Okay.
They're afraid to report.
Okay.
But even if they report, no action is taken.
Oh.
The men police. It's usually in many other developing countries also. Yeah. So this VP unit has been set
Led by women.
Well, there was hardly women also.
Okay.
So the women there was zero women in the police force nor the army.
Yeah.
So training of women police started, and now they are all managed by the Vulnerable Persons Unit, managed by women police. Now, if we take the total personnel in the police force, 18% of the police force are now women.
Oh.
Okay, which is very good, from zero.
Yeah.
And in the army, 20%, about 20% are women. This is
How much the population?
It is 1.5 lakhs.
Only
1.5 lakhs. Because 250,000 died.
How much the around total square kilometer?
It is close to the state of Kerala.
Like
Kerala. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, for the ministers also, I was also involved with.
You are watching India's first NGO television, Malanadu TV India.